This week on Wealth Track, two personal finance champions show us how to train for the big retirement race, keep our portfolios in shape, and go the distance. Macro Consulting's award-winning financial planner Mark Cortazzo and Investment News' Social Security maven Beth Franklin shared their retirement workouts. Next on Consuelo Mac Wealth Track. Beth, I know you've had a strategy for an emergency fund for a long time.
Right. Part of the idea is what some people call the buckets of money strategy or time segmentation, where you divide your assets into time frames. Maybe you have 2 to 3 years of cash that this is going to handle your out-of-pocket expenses. And maybe in years 4 through up to 10, you have some sort of fixed investments that's going to throw, even if it's a dividend-paying stock, that you've got some sort of predictable income coming in.
Right.
And then you stay invested for the long term, maybe in years 10 and beyond, because face it, a typical retirement now could last 30 years or more. So you're still a long-term investor even in retirement. But the idea of these different buckets of money is no matter what happens to the stock market today, I don't need that money for 10 years. I can sleep at night, I can stick to my retirement plan, and I think this is why you're going to see an increasingly important role for financial advisors in the retirement income phase. This stuff is complicated and people are going to need help.
We're in that phase where we're not accumulating our savings, we're actually starting to distribute our savings. So, Mark said up to 6 years of cash to pay your expenses for 6 years. That's a lot, actually.
What we've done for clients is we've done a laddered strategy. So they're getting a blended yield that is, comparable to what inflation's at on a tax-free basis. And it's not there to make you money. It's there to protect you. And protection costs money, whether you're buying an annuity to protect you. It costs money. If you are, you're sacrificing performance by being in lower returning investments for protection. So you've got to, make a choice of how much upside do you want, how much protection do you want, and as you get closer to retirement or in retirement, if you make that call wrong, you don't have a lot of time or resources to recover from that. So it is a critical decision.
Yeah, there's this increasing philosophy in retirement income planning of creating this floor. Some sort of predictable or guaranteed income, whether it's a combination of annuities, Social Security, maybe if you have a pension, to at least cover your fixed costs in retirement.
You create a floor that every year will cover your
essentials.
Your essentials, the food and shelter, essentially, and transportation, whatever it is.
And then on your discretionary income, maybe you can't take a cruise every year, but with the stock investments, perhaps, maybe that's going to fund the cruise every other year, and you can adjust accordingly. But I think it's very important, again, where there are fewer sets of guaranteed income, to create your personal pension in some sort of way, whether it's buying an annuity or exercising the Social Security claiming strategy that's going to result in more money so that those fixed costs are covered.
And Beth, let me ask you about your specialty, which is Social Security. And you have made an industry out of maximizing Social Security. It's something that we all took for granted and just didn't really pay much attention to. It turns out there are huge discrepancies in what you can get from Social Security if your strategies are correct.
Right.
How key is Social Security now in this income-starved world?
It is critical for two reasons. In an era where so few people have traditional pensions anymore, and in this low interest rate environment, because, for example, for every year you're willing to postpone collecting your Social Security benefits beyond your full retirement age, which is currently 66, up until age 70, you're going to earn an extra 8% per year. That's a 32% increase. You can't get a risk-free 8% a year anyplace else.
And you're dealing with a lot of high net worth individuals, but is it valuable, or how valuable is Social Security to them?
It's extremely valuable. It's one of those things. What we try to do is focus on the things that clients have control over. If they have pensions and they can take a lump sum, or they can take only on their life, or different options for their spouses, focusing on what their options are, making the right decision. Social Security is something you have options available to you. Understanding what they are and how to maximize them based on your individual circumstances, longevity in your family, health, your current health, your spouse's current health. So things that you have control over, maximize those. We don't have control over interest rates or the stock market. Those we have to hedge and manage risk. But there are plenty of things in people's retirement lives that making good decisions can be more important than getting a better investment return.
Mary Beth, speaking of the search for income, annuities used to be a dirty word. Are they still?
In some circles, they are still a dirty word. And there are good annuities and there are bad annuities, but the difference is you have to figure out what is your purpose. If you're looking for guaranteed income, you have to pay for that privilege.
But the point is you get a guarantee, even though the insurance industry doesn't want to say it's a guarantee.
Exactly.
But you get a stream of income for life.
Exactly.
Right?
And the darlings of the industry, at least among the academics at this point, not so much around consumers yet, is the idea of investing a little bit of money now to pay out way in the future, like when you're
longevity insurance.
Longevity insurance.
Right, or deferred income,
It's
whatever.
a deferred income annuity,
Right.
and it's like the ultimate roulette wheel of investing. It's red or black. If you live to 85, you're going to get a great payoff. If you don't, you don't.
If I'm 65 and I have this income stream that's going to kick in at 80 or 85, I know that's the end game. I just need to make it to shore and I'm fine.